What's going on? What's going on, my co-creators? How you doing today? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're co-creating the best life for yourself and making everything go your way and work your way. Um, my plan was to come in the kitchen and do me a video while I was cutting up my vegetables and stuff, and I was gonna saute some vegetables and stuff for y'all. But I went into the refrigerator and I went and pulled out my eggplant. I was gonna chop that up, and my zucchini. I pulled out my zucchini, and I guess I let it stay in there too long, and it started kind of rotting. You know what I'm saying? And I still got my peppers and stuff I'm gonna use. I still got my onions, so I may just use the eggplants, the onions, the peppers, the mushrooms, and all that, and chop all that up, and maybe add some, some seasoning and some other stuff to it. But I ain't gonna do all that. Because just doing that and attempting to create my little vegetable mix that I like to saute, it made me think of something to talk about. Wasn't really what I planned to talk about, but I'll kind of put it all together actually. When we don't use the gifts, or we don't use the ideas that we have in our mind, the things that may come to us, or the inventions, or just sometimes we just wake up in the middle of the night and we have these ideas, or we have these fantasies about maybe going working out and trying some new exercise or trying some new activity or something like that. If we don't use that talent, we don't use those ideas, if we just let them sit, just like I let my zucchini sit, they will go bad and they will spoil. And when they spoil, that's where we get those feelings of anxiousness, those feelings of depression. It's like unused potential. It's things that we know better, that we want better for ourselves, and we say we want better for ourselves, but we're not using it. And so it's like fruit and vegetables going bad. It's what happens when we don't pursue our higher ideas, our higher dreams, our higher goals and stuff like that. So you can't sit on stuff. You got to get the stuff out of you. Either you use it for yourself or you give it to somebody else. Don't just sit on ideas. Don't get it to the point where I'm trying to hoard all my ideas because I don't want nobody to steal my potential, money, and all that stuff. You got to think in abundance. You got to know if you came up with one idea, you can come up with 50 more. That's just the way it works. You can't be thinking when that scarcity mentality. If you think like that, that's all you're going to have is just one idea or two ideas in your whole 20 years. We got to get the stuff off our chest though. And if, like I said, we can't use it right now, give it away. Give it away to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Pass it on. You'll come up with more ideas. There'll be more things that's downloaded into your brain. Don't worry about it. Don't think of yourself so small with so many limitations. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I thought of when I was, about to pull out the fruit. But actually, this video is going to be about something way deeper. I guess I already used 3 minutes of it, but I'll go into it a little bit now. Once again, we go back to this COVID business, the Church of COVID. I like to call it because people just believe in it so much. They're so faithful to the Church of COVID, and I kind of was making a point in my other video the other day when I was talking about why do you trust? And I didn't really go into details about why do people trust. And I was focusing on African Americans and all of us, and why all of a sudden we have lost our skepticism in government, in the medical industry, in news. Once upon a time, we used to be extremely skeptical. I mean, we would listen to the news, we would know what's going on, we would hear what doctors and officials and all that say, but we'd go and do our own thing because we understood that the history of African Americans in this country doesn't really say that the country and its institutions were set up for us to prosper. And so we're naturally skeptical. And I was like asking the question, like, what happened? What happened? Why aren't we skeptical anymore? And I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, I believe, and I was like, well, maybe I think that we think that just because we have so-called, put down my grapefruit, we so-called made it. A lot of us have made it. A lot of us are millionaires and billionaires, and we've made it, and we got black politicians, black president, black on this, black on that. I think some kind of way it made us kind of gullible. It made us kind of think that we were officially indoctrinated into this system, like this system is actually now benefiting us. And now, since we've had our president and all this stuff, I say our loosely, president and all that stuff, it's like now we can relax and trust what the news says, and trust what politicians say, and trust what these so-called doctors and officials say. And I think that's a terrible idea. I think that is not the smart way to be. We have to remain diligent. We have to remain skeptical. We cannot be lazy in thinking that this stuff is for us, because that's the only thing I can think of. Like when I see people just willing to, go around and social distancing and wearing these hot, dirty masks on their face all day and sweating and doing all these ridiculous things, shutting down their businesses and losing money and shunning people and doing all this weird stuff. It's like, some kind of way, black folks and other folks too, I'm not trying to exclude anybody else, but I'm just speaking, as far as race right now, which I don't like doing that, but I think this is important. Some kind of way we now think that we are a part of the elite group, that we are a part of the insiders. And the insiders, really comes down to class, it comes down to knowledge, it comes down to awareness, and it comes down to a lot of wickedness too on certain levels. And we are not a part of those things. We are not a part of those. If somebody looks like me they don't give a damn about me. And that's very rare, as far as I can tell. And so I think that as Americans, period, especially African Americans, we need to regain a healthy sense of skepticism. We need to be extremely skeptical. We need to not trust and not believe any and everything we see on the news. Anytime a politician talking, I don't care if he looks like us or not, we need to remember that this system was not set up for us to prosper. This system is set up for us to be worker bees, worker slaves, distracted, tired, sick, confused, overwhelmed, frustrated, separated. That's what keeps the system going. That's what keeps the oppression in place, is us being unconnected to our higher selves and us going at each other's throat. And especially us trusting in what we're seeing on the news. We have to be skeptical. We have to not believe. I'd rather perish not believing this crap than just giving into it. You can't just go along with this stuff. I've never seen so many law-abiding black folks in my life. I mean, and then my friend was telling me that maybe it's because, Trump is not really pushing face mask, and he's not really, he doesn't seem super taking the COVID situation super serious. Like if you really look at overall, maybe that's the reason why black folks are kind of rebelling and doing the opposite, because he's on the opposite side of the aisle, which is another bunch of crock of stuff. I mean, these groups, these Democrats, these Republicans, these liberals, these conservatives, those groups, guys, are going to have us in a world of trouble. You can't be joining these groups, because these groups have their own agendas, and you may stand for one thing, but then the group may have 5, 6, 10 other things that you don't even care for, but you got to go along with that crap because you are a part of that group. That's why we got to stay away from these groups and, I only vote Democrat, I only vote Republican, I only vote this. I'm not saying don't vote, but just voting and making decisions based on somebody in some kind of silly group, that's not smart at all. You're playing right into the hands of the people that's making our lives miserable and enforcing all these laws that don't make any sense at all. I mean, it's so many things that don't make sense. Like, come on, guys. I just go back to the basics about this whole disease thing, this whole infection thing. They want you to wear a mask. They want you to have, and the mask, there's no mask that I've ever seen that won't allow you to breathe air around it. Do you know that oxygen flows through the easiest path? You think that you're breathing through that mask? You're breathing around that mask. There's openings around your ears. There's openings around your mouth, depending on how your face shaped. And most people are not even wearing the damn mask properly. So you're breathing the air around you anyway. The mask is just a silly, it's like a symbol of your submission. It's a symbol of your fear. It's a symbol of you not thinking. It's a symbol of you not wanting to get in trouble and just going along. It's a symbol of you trying to make everybody else feel good. We're not in this world to make everybody else feel good all the damn time. So we got to stop submitting to these little gestures, wearing this silly mask. It's useless, a useless piece of cloth that's making people look submissive, and it's not helping anything healthy. If anything, it's cutting off oxygen flow. It's making you breathe back in toxins, breathe back in carbon dioxide. It's a terrible idea. So please, folks, wake up and just stop wearing that crap on your face. Just say, I'm not doing it. Just let that go. That's one thing that you can start by doing. And as far as the social distancing and all that crap, 6 feet, that's a random number. It's a random number from out of the air. It's nothing to do with your health. It's a waste of time. It's stupidity. And personally, I can't go along with stupid things. That makes me stupid. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm really not. But I'm saying me personally, I cannot go along with things that don't make sense because that makes me stupid. I just can't do it. And so we got to stop following these silly rules that don't make sense and making all these changes to our lives for a so-called deadly virus that's not even deadlier than the flu that we get every year. I've been saying this forever. Hopefully somebody hears me this time. I'm pretty sure a couple people hear me. But the only way all of this madness ends is when we say, I'm not afraid anymore. Okay, I'll get it. I'll get the deadly virus. And then I'm hearing people talking about, oh, the numbers are going up. They're surging. The numbers are going back up. Let me get this screen right. The numbers are going back up. They're surging. They're it's the second wave. What's the idiotic thing about that? When I hear people say that, everybody has not been tested with these, the tests aren't good anyway, but if you want to go by all that, everybody have not been tested. So naturally, the more people that are tested, naturally, the numbers will go up. It's not a epidemic. Now, are they going back and testing the people that already tested not negative? That'd be different. But no, they're testing new people, so the numbers will go up. Why? The numbers going up. They're freaking out. Folks, it's nothing to be concerned about on that level. This is baby virus. This ain't nothing compared to the flu. Stop buying into this foolishness. Be more skeptical of all this stuff. It's about control. It's about manipulation, folks. Come on, you got to wake up so we can move on to bigger and better things and see what's really going on. This is some foolery going on right now. This is silliness going on. This is not the real deal. I'm not saying that there won't be a real deal in the future. That's why we say you got to take care of your body. But this crap right here, this is not the real deal. This is about control. And even if you do buy into all the numbers, it's going up. Oh, it's so bad. And like I said before, you're talking about less than 1% of people that will die. And that's in extreme cases, less than 1%. So you got flus every year killing hundreds of thousands of people, 80 to 100,000 people every year. You got cancer killing hundreds of, I don't even know the numbers on cancer, but I know it's ridiculous. You got heart disease, the biggest killer. You got car accidents, people texting and driving dying, more deadly. Everything that we've been dying from over the years are way more deadly than all of this stuff, but we're willing to go into our knees and beg for protection from this non-deadly virus. And some people say it's not even a virus, but I'm not saying that because I don't know. But I'm just saying it's not deadly, and there's all kind of numbers to prove it. So guys, you gotta stop doing this kind of stuff. You gotta stop following these silly rules. You gotta stop going along with these people because it will never end. It's about control. It's about subjugation. It never ends. We are doing a bunch of silly stuff that doesn't make any sense. And we got adults that's supposed to be skeptical and questioning things and being like, hold up. Especially African Americans, especially the crap that we've been through in this country. We should be questioning everything. We shouldn't believe nothing we see on the TV. We should know what they're saying, but we should be like, I ain't going along with that. I ain't going along with that. That's how we used to be. My whole life, everybody was skeptical. All of a sudden, everybody is tooting their own horn and not tooting their own horn and going along with everything on TV. It's like, man, we are not these people. We turn into I mean, like I said, I'm an American, but we buying into this thing too much now. Come on, folks, wake up now. We are not the friends of this country. We have been through a lot of stuff in this country. And I'm not, like I said before, it's not just black folks, it's all folks, but especially black folks. you should be the last ones listening and doing all this stuff. I mean, it's amazing to see. Like I said, I've never seen so many law-abiding, rule-following African Americans, black people in my life. Every single thing I've ever seen implemented over the years, we would be rebellion against it. But all of a sudden now we all just like little sheep. Okay, I believe in government now. I believe in everything. I think it's because, I don't know if it's because Obama got elected. I don't know what happened. Because he got a black president. We started buying into it. I don't know what happened. I didn't coordinate this. I didn't give this a sanction. You know, I didn't okay this is what I'm trying to say. I'll never be buying into anything. I'm always going to be skeptical. That's the smart way to be. So anyway, folks, hope I touched on some different points here, because I know the other day I was a little excited. But be very skeptical. Never let your guard down. Even if you believe all the numbers on TV, oh, they're going up, just know that it is not something that's deadly for over 99% of people. And it is not worth you giving up your livelihood and treating other people like they're, you know, disease riddled and doing social distancing and following all these ridiculous rules that don't make sense. These face masks, it doesn't make sense, folks. I'm trying to say this calmly. It's silliness. It doesn't make sense. It's not helping you. It's not helping anyone. It's fakery. It's not real. This stuff is not dangerous. Whatever it is, it's not dangerous. There's so many more dangerous things. Heart disease, diabetes, cancers, from all types of habits that most people hadn't stopped doing. I mean, I still see people, they haven't changed their diets. They're still eating the same crap. They're still smoking and drinking and having unprotected sex and riding around with texting and driving and doing all type of dangerous things. All those things are way more deadly than this so-called deadly virus, folks. Wake up, be skeptical, and be willing to go to the ends of the earth before you let somebody play you and have you walking around like a dummy. What they're saying on the TV is not real. It is fakeness. Stop believing it once again. Wake up again. You didn't used to believe stuff on the TV. You didn't used to believe in your politicians. You didn't used to believe in the news. You didn't used to believe in these authorities. Stop doing it. I don't know what happened to you. It happened very quickly. My whole life, none of us did. All of a sudden, now we're all believers. We're all just bought into the society. I'm not saying don't be an American. I'm not saying don't be a part of society. Use the society to your advantage, but don't buy into this crap, folks. Stop it. Now, once again, don't be surprised if they got something real coming around the corner for you. And I already told you on another video what's going to happen. Come wintertime, people got sniffles and all this stuff. Everything going to be labeled as COVID. It's going to be ridiculous. And they already got the bug in our head, the psychological bug in our head. So we're going to be paranoid. You know, I mean, even as skeptical as I am, I've woken up a couple of mornings during the allergy season, you know, with a scratchy throat, like, oh no. And I'll wake up and come to my senses and I'll be like, oh, I'm tripping. It's freaking allergy season. I get allergies every year. So anyway, wake up, folks. Be diligent. Go outside today. Do 30 minutes cardio. Get your blood up. Get your, I always say that wrong. Get your heart rate up. Get your blood pumping. Get out there and get some sunshine. Let that sun kiss you. Meditate. Try to do like 10 minutes at least meditation. That's really, really, really good for you. Really, really important to connect to the higher self so you won't get caught up into this world too much. Turn off the news. They're talking about that. This whole message, turn the news off, is not doing anything to help, folks. You know, you can check out the weather, and that's not right half the time. Check out the traffic. Might do all right with that. Other than that, you need to turn it off. And also leave your cell phone at home sometime, just sometime. I love you, my co-creators. I hope that this is reaching. I hope are you seeing that it's all love. I'm just trying to help you to see and open your eyes, and it's not a racial thing. I'm just, you know, I happen to be an African American, so I'm using that as a pivoting point to explain this. All people in this country should be skeptical, but especially black folk. Don't follow this crap. I love you. Bye-bye.